our man, Stephen Mbide, is in Nansana speaking to the State Minister for Kampala, Mr. Chofa Togavye. Good morning, Stephen.
Yes, good morning to you, Chris. And you know, one sure thing is that the economy is really bleeding or is really hurting just because of this trader strike, not only for Kampala, but also some districts we know in some townships. We see some shops being closed, and this is deathly of majorly this what they've termed as a national shutdown. But of course, even the past week, we saw some shops within Kampala being closed. But I'll be asking Honorable Christopher Chofa Togavye, Minister of State for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs, whether government was dilly-dallying, and because these traders were putting up some threats, warnings before they even went on strike, they were telling the traders that we shall be warning the country that we shall be closing, and government was it reluctant and never saw this coming. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning to you all, and to all you viewers, and especially my beloved tenants, the hosts, the traders. First of all, this is a wrong question to me, because I'm not a docket holder.
But you're part of the cabinet.
But now on the responsibility bit of it, collective responsibility, I may say, fine, I may attempt. And I will be forgiven because sometimes you may end up speaking your mind. But the truth of the matter is, well, we saw the threats and we attempted. I remember we had the end of last month, top management meeting, which I chair of my ministry. And the LSC Kampala brought this on table. And of course, the security agencies. I told them, yes, I understand, and we appreciate what's going on. However, I see this is beyond our mandate. And mainly, I was waiting for a voice from Ministry of Trade and Ministry of Finance, because these are their issues. And entirely 90% is the Ministry of Finance. Then, of course, Ministry of Trade can come in to dialogue with its traders and clients. But unfortunately, I don't know what's happening in Ministry of Finance, and not actually Ministry of Finance, but URA. The people were entrusted with the authority and a trust to collect taxes on our behalf. I think they didn't do enough to come and engage these people. That's why some of us, we decided to come in a bit at the tail end. But I would not say the economy is being affected. Not really, because people are still bringing in goods. The only problem that the person and the trader himself is being affected. You know,
when the reason that's why I'm saying the economy is bleeding is because when you look at this strike, it's not only the traders who are being affected. We know that the traders, rather the passengers, the transport sector, people in the transport sector also are crying because people who are coming to the shops are not coming in. Those petrol stations which are selling a few of these vehicles which are moving to town, many of them are not seeing the sales as they were. When you go to telecom, banking sector, many of the people who are banking with the money after these sales are nowhere to be seen. Even the restaurants, even whoever is working within Kampala and its neighborhoods, there is a pinch that they are feeling. You cannot say the economy is not being hurt.
No, what I'm saying, I may need statistical data to evidence this so that we can see exactly. Only that one would be their headache. That would be the head of the Ministry of Finance to come up with good statistics and to see how much the economy has been affected and what can be remedied. But the good thing is, this is not a big problem. It is a small problem. And for me, when I looked into this matter and I tried to come in, it's just simple things. They just need listening to, engagement, and we move on. But there are other issues of some players who are opportunists who are trying to come in and seize the opportunity. But those are just simple matters.
But when you talk about the engagement, the other day, Minister of Finance, I saw Minister Matia Kasaija with URA Commissioner General and some traders representatives, but also you yourself, yesterday you had a meeting, an engagement with these traders leaders, but you still see that the shops, many of the shops are still closed.
No, I didn't expect things to be done overnight, because again there's a problem. Actually, why shops are closed is not because of the continuous act of the traders. It's again the landlords whom you want to engage either today or tomorrow, because now
What's the story?
the story is here. Landlords file their taxes on 15th of every month. Today's okay, by yesterday it was 17th. URA is also freezing them, is encroaching on them. They have not filed their taxes, pay as you earn and other things. So what normally landlords do by 12th, they lock in, they call it to take a kechijegere. They come in looking for their rent of that month to those who have delayed. Now what they are now saying, hey, Minister, it's okay, we don't mind about your people coming in, but for me, Mukubanja, they haven't paid my rent. So that is what's going on. Now I want again to go back and talk to the landlords to say, please, guys, you know, these guys, where they okay, there was some bit of challenges here and there, or maybe bad manners, but please open for them. But they are saying, no. Before I open, they must pay my rent. Because no one down there in those business sector, no one pays for more than 1 month. They pay each month they are working. And normally they pay after they have sold.
So yesterday...
So now the standoff is now between landlords who are demanding for the previous month's rent and traders who decided to stay home, not knowing that tomorrow they need to open and work.
Honorable, you yourself, you're also a business person. You know the challenges these traders, the business community also face. But when they talk about e-free system, we should admit that there is something that needs to be addressed with this system. Absolutely. You know, the system is good. Just like a mobile money system, you know now, you and I think we are parents, we pay fees, we use what you call school pay, you know that. And of course, people resisted it in the beginning who are used to a bank slip. Go pick a bank slip, line up in the bank, pay. Now, the e-free system is good because one, there is also a wrong way of interpreting it. The business community interprets as a new tax. That is one. And now URA has failed to come out clearly and explain in the simplest language possible to these people what the system is all about. And you know, whenever something new comes, people will, it is natural, people will resent it. And it takes phrases, it goes through stages, then stage 3, acceptability now comes in. But acceptability is based on the way and the level and magnitude of explanation and dissemination and then sensitization. This is what you are aiming to do. You can't wake up in the morning and say, today, from today onwards, tomorrow, the system is here, either pay or pay. That is wrong. Remember, you're dealing with a community which is not all that advanced in terms of education. 95% of my traders really didn't go beyond P7. Even the language, they learned it on job. So this is also going to complicate the enforcement or the implementation of this system?
It has already started, and by the way, they're even wasting time. More is coming.
Really?
Yes. Now there are two issues. When I met them, I summarized their problems into 4. One, let e-frees be charged at the point of entry and manufacturing of factories, which is true. Whenever people go to industrial area, let me say in Mbari, to buy jeans, you can't get out of the industrial area at the gate without pay. URA is already there, stationed. Now the question is, a trader, Stephen, paid at Mbari. But Stephen is a wholesale trader. Now he comes and sells to Chofa, who sells one to the last person. Let me say I'm doing the last mile. The last person is going to put on this jean. Then Stephen paid URA, the so-called 18% and other things, and he came sold it to me, he built the other 18%, by the way. Because if you bought it at around 100,000, to me you will sell it to me at around 140,000. Then I sell it at 150,000 because for us we are looking at 1% or 10K per barrel. Then you come to me and you want again to take the 10,000 on top of what I got. From again 150,000, instead of maybe charging 10,000 from the 10,000, which is like my gross profit. So you charge me again. That is what they are saying. This is double taxation. Because just put it at Stephen, who is a bigger wholesaler. Put your system there. Then too, you also require me to buy the machine, the so-called that gadget they are using, which is costing 1.5 million. Now, to a man who makes 6,000 shillings on his sales a day, again, you can't force him to buy a machine. If you want, distribute it. Then you go into the instability of power. If you fail to produce a receipt and you give it to Chofa, who has come to buy from you, you penalize me. These are the things which are just operational matters which are very funny.
But this, as government, as members of cabinet, as Kampala Capital City Authority, or you, the technical wing, or even the executive, you would have foreseen these things coming, or these implementation challenges, and you would have moved in as executive because you have the power, they have the mandate.
By the way,
make sure these things are sorted.
It had not come to our notice. It had not come to our notice. Yes. You know, when we give him mandate, you remember you are is an AGS and, you know, put in place by Parliament, Act of Parliament and so on and so forth. Now, they have all powers to devise mechanism of seeing that we collect taxes because that is their sole job. We want taxes, which is okay, no matter what. Even when I'm speaking this and that, however much I want to defend the farmers, I mean the traders or the other side, but at the end of the bottom line, I want to tell the traders, please pay taxes. But the question is, which is the easiest tax to collect? Should we go into indirect tax or direct tax? Two, you know, tax is all about psychology, playing with people's psychology. How best can you play on my psychology? I will pay. For instance, I've seen you and I, we are going to pay, is it 58%?
The Minister of Finance says that's not true.
Now, you know, that is now tax. Also expect some bit of rumor mongering around. The Rugambe is too much. But the question is, as we move on this, it will, URA needed, first of all, to inform the minister. The minister, that's when we can now get an opportunity and a privilege to learn about what you're coming up in your ministry. That is one. Two, URA would have disseminated this system properly to the people. It's a good system. And why I'm saying it's a very good system is now tracking even the last person who doesn't want to pay the tax. The only challenge, how do I interest this man to start pay, to accept, and then he pays the tax?
Okay, but also there's the other issue of unfair competition that these traders are saying that, you know, these manufacturers, some of them even foreign based, are not coming from foreign countries. They're now also selling the last person. They're even hawking some of their products.
No, these are just hearsay. You know, when you are building your case, you can add on some bit of small things to icing it to support your cake.
Tomorrow's meeting.
Matter is, these are just small operational matters which needs an intervention of Uganda Investment Authority and at the same time Ministry of Trade. Now that's when the Ministry of Trade comes in. First of all, who gives these people a license to operate? Secondly, what is the interpretation mechanism of this license you give to people, whether they understand or not? Remember, we have people from different spectrum of the world and spheres of the world. Now when they come in, we speak different languages. Have you gone deeper? Have you gotten the interpreter to tell us exactly how the Chinese understand this and how us understand the other? But those are just the operational matters. They are just small. Actually, yesterday when we engaged, I eventually downloaded everything, and then they say, Honorable, we have only 4 issues. One, IFRIs to be charged at the point of entry and, you know, those VAT stations and manufacturing points. 2, interpret IFRIs into local languages which can be comprehended by everybody. 3, taxes which are charged in kilograms versus values. But again, that one, it has something on the...
But we're also talking about URI collecting the taxes and also cases coming in.
No, cases has no problem. Cases only collect license, which everyone knows, and you must pay a license. And then the ground rate. For us, that's the only issues we correct.
Let's talk about tomorrow's meeting. Tomorrow's meeting with the president that is going to happen in State House, expected to be happening tomorrow. Do you think this will solve these issues once and for all?
Yes, like I said yesterday, if I saw your team there, I told them there are certain things we can solve at our level, which are just operational in nature, and those were the way, the methodology of collecting taxes, where URA is so brutal. Those are things we can really solve. Then the issues of arrests, where we picked people for preventive arrests, those ones actually straight away we sorted it.
And they were asking for the release of these.
The release of their... Yes, we release those ones are just simple things. They don't need the president really to waste your time to say, okay, you give this one a bond. Really, the minister, what can I do as a minister? Those ones we directed, and indeed, by evening they called me to say to appreciate that we have all our people. Then I said, please go and see no more. But lastly, the issue of penalties and fines. Like I said, if power went off today, and you didn't produce a receipt and I give it to you, I will be penalized almost up to 6 million. We are saying no, we know penalties in the law. We go with the currency points. Can you please evoke that? And then we go with currency points in terms of penalties, if anyway you want to penalize people. Secondly, why do you always think of fines and fines instead of doing the right thing? Because the right thing is, do I have power, constant power? Yes. Do I have a machine? Yes. Now, who is going to pay? Remember, my people, 98, I told you 95% did go beyond the P6. So they can't operate these so-called high-tech machines. I need to employ somebody from who went up to maybe senior. No, they know. They even told me, now we need to employ someone, and someone... that was tried. He says, Nasoma, you want him 1 million. Now to tell him, pay this one 1 million every month. That is another headache. So, those things are the ones which really are hard for us. Can we determine that we suspend?
So can you confirm here on TV that the president will be speaking to these traders, because that has been one of their concerns?
We've petitioned. Actually, we've given the president their petition. He has gone through. That's why he needed a bit of time. He has analyzed everything, and now he's ready to meet them tomorrow from 10 a.m. And of course, he's going to give us, because like I said, certain things, charging a tax in a kilogram versus a value needs a policy redirection. Now, those are other things we need really presidential directive, executive powers to evoke. Where do we charge IFRIs? How do we charge the taxes? Now that's what we need really the fountain of.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Back ibigambo by'abasibuza abasuubuza abakulaba kati kwenti.
Mikwano gyange bakyali bange nga bwe mumanyi twateesezza. Era nsanyusa nnyo okulaba nti abasinga mugenzi okugulawo amaduuka gammwe. Kyannaku nnyo okugenda okusinkana omukulu. Mujjukire omukulu naffe tumunyonyogera. Kati bw'oba oyagala okunyonyogera omukulu omujeemu ky'oyagala. Sooka okole ky'ayagala. Kati ky'atayagala bwe bujeemu. Ajja tunyigira bw'anaawulira nti muzeeyi ffe tukyaggaddewo. N'olulimi nabagambye mu lukyuse. Olulimi lwammwe mwagezezaako okwogera nange obulungi naye era nga museerera. Kati mutegere gwe tugenda okwogeraganya naye. Ye musajja asinga okwagala kye bayita emirembe, ye musajja yasinga okukulembeza oba okusoosowaza enteeseganya. Tujja kutwala bangiko nga 10. Nze sifayo bangambye ne bwendeeta ebibiri. Naye njagala okuleeta ebibiri abalina omuzinzi. Ate si kuddingana buli mu kimu kye mwogedde. Naye nga kye mbasaba mubeere bakkakkamu, mwebale kukuuma mirembe, sinawulira yesuuza ekizimbe. Gwawulira nti toyagala. Ngera obusungu okyalina bungi. Mukwana enkuba etonnya. Dduka mangu e Masaka ogira osimba ne ku mmwanyi. Terimba. Ojja budde buno bw'onooyonoona wano nga tokola. Obufunemu ng'olimye emmwanyi, olimye ekitooke, era tukirinze ffe bannayuganda ate ffe tugenda okulya emmere awamu n'okufuna mu mmwanyi. Era abasuubuzi abatuufu bali eri. Kakati bano abalala abasumbwa be bali wano. So mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala. kati mugende mugule wa maduka ga mukuli abatiisa wendi obakuuma nze gwe gwandesa mu kibuga.
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Christopher Togabye, Minister of State for Kampala Affairs and Metropolitan Area. Stephen Imbido from Fefe Chibuga with Brian Kayondo here on the camera. We say thank you so much. We take you back to studio for Chris again with